about what we're doing at cosm.org. You can do that yourself in your own communities and let us know what you're doing. We're very interested in other people's drive to create sacred space and sacred settings. So I want to
initiation and rites of passage are part of that. And I think that shamanic cultures, and especially the ones that are entheogenic, have a strong artistic tradition and component to what they're doing. They're visionary. They're bringing out things. You wear an amulet to remind you of the sacred here. Yourself. And even though you don't want it to become an idol worship or something like that, these things are part of the human waves of development of spiritual understanding. We leave a trace behind so that those that come along can also recognize their ancestors. And we can go back to sacred spaces that are part of the human heritage and recognize this, or we can look at the shamanic arts of all the different indigenous people as well, or go visit their tribes and see the cave art that's been a part of their heritage. All the cultures that have had contact with the divine leave some trace, and I think the entheogeneration has experienced tremendous visionary worlds, and it would be a shame not to create places where people who've had these experiences can share them. And certainly because of the profound alliance between divinity and creativity, there has to be an ongoing creative aspect, an evolutionary aspect to whatever sacred space that you'd be manifesting. That would be my response.
So why don't we...
Alex, the question is, you have been involved in two-dimensional art and three-dimensional art, building your temple. It feels like you're now becoming a four-dimensional artist in human interaction. Is that how you see your work?
Well, I see that as a community, Allyson and I have been expanding our identities as artists and expanding the possibilities of the creative work that we're doing. We have taken this step of creating a sacred space because ultimately that's what we wish the function of the art to be, to catalyze a person's own creative and spiritual life. And so the artworks are part of a installation, a complex installation that is will give a person a kind of an engineered, subtle initiation into the divinity of their own self, if they are receptive viewers. And if a person is called to come there, various people have come to experience the chapel in the entheogenic state and have had extremely profound sort of resettings of their psychic hard drive, I guess. And so Joseph Beuys, the great German artist, talked about social sculpture, and that is really behind what we're doing as well. We wish to create a place that is of use. We think that art can be a bridge between the individual person and a collective mind, an understanding of their own interconnectedness with the human race, beyond all sort of gender and racial divides, and their connection with the great web of life, which I think is crucial at this time for us to develop a sense of the sacred of our world. And we feel now that the creative path has fused with the spiritual path, and that people's creative efforts can be dedicated toward a transformative and evolutionary direction for humanity. And that this is what the new temples, the visionary temples, the new kinds of sacred spaces can gift to the world.
Thank you.